Woo-hoo-hoo. How are you? Well, I guess you came by to check out the live astrology forecast that I'm doing. And I'm also putting it up here for chat so that people who have some questions can come on in there and ask them. Looks like I do need to make this a little bit closer. There we go. We'll get her straightened out here yet. Oh wow, really shows different. It's like, okay. Make up me mind. Wait for the camera to get adjusted. Alright, that looks like a good. Now let's go up. Okay, how's that? Can y'all see the chart? Alright, I guess I should have just stayed with the original, but what can you say? We gotta make sure that we do this right. Okay. So, who do we have? Retta just recently came across you. This is so interesting. Yeah, it really is. Astrology really played a big part in my understanding of myself. So I don't live by it as much as I really should pay attention to it. So someone had asked me about doing a chart back in June. I think it was at Liberty Bell. And I didn't do the astrological chart for the 1776 movement until this month, until August. This is being recorded August the 24th, and it is for the 1776, right here, 1776 restitution movement that was started on May 22nd, 2022 at the Redmond's Lodge, according to Santa. So you will see the 1776 restoration movement in the brown. And because of the date of the start, it makes the movement a Gemini, which Gemini is a big communication sign, but then it's also the twins. So you have your good, you have your bad, you have your light, you have your dark. One opinion and another opinion. Now up here we have some more brown, and for those of you who are wondering about the 1776 chart, I had previously done a video on both the 1776 chart and also with Santa in it. Now these two things aren't going to change, and I have Santa in the green. Hopefully you can see where the green, and that is what part Saturn or Santa is going to play in the astrological chart of the 1776 movement. Now, in the red, I have September, where the planets are transiting and where they are going to activate, what areas, what houses that they are going to activate in the 1776 movement. Now, if anybody is wondering, these are what I call my soul chart. It is my latest invention. And Retta, I should pay attention a little bit more. And it gives you a heads up. It really does. When my dog had passed, one of the things it was like, looking at astrology, and she passed May 4th, and May 5th was supposed to be a challenging day, and I had to make a decision to put her out of her misery, or hopefully pray that she would survive. So I chose to put her out of her misery, and this was on the People's Convoy, the convoy through hell. And I'm coming to the understanding. I mean, there's a lot of signs, and I have other videos. Um, but I'm understanding now that if I did not put her out of her misery prior to, because we were on the road the next day, and it would have been way overwhelming and horrible if I would have had a dog pass in my arm while I'm driving in a convoy. So, out of bad always comes in. You just have to look for the good that is out of bad. I mean, out of tragedy, people come together in love. And I'm sure that 1776 will eventually, but it all depends on who is running the ship. Okay. Now, right here we have the sun, and also Mercury. But Mercury, the communication is going away from. And with the red, we see where Mars. So 1776, a big part of what's coming in September is a lot of communication. They really have to work on refining their communication. And because it's in Gemini, it's like, okay, who, what, where is my focus? Okay. Now we're also with the first house. This is how it's seen, and it is. The 1776 RM is a lot about communication. Now I was going to go to the 12th house, but I'm going to wait that, and excuse me, just going to go in order. Okay, the second house is money, finances, possessions, and we see Cancer, and that's home, and money coming in through the home, people at home sending money in to financially keep the movement, hopefully, going. But there again, if the money's coming from home, what are the people at home taking out of their finances in order to support a movement? That, and why? The question of, we have Venus. Venus is going through Leo right now, and it's going to be moving on into the fourth house. So the home of 1776 is going to be a big focus in what is coming up in September. Now, with Mars and Uranus and Pluto, Santa's, okay, how much work is he going to be doing, and what kind of changes is going on? Is it going to be a constant change that's going to be going on? Will he be changing the movement, the home base of the movement constantly? So unusual, unexpected, the death of one, the birth of another, working towards it. And that's what he's gonna keep doing, going, trying to create. Now, as we see with the red, the red is in September. In September, okay, now where does he really, putting love to it, putting love into the movement. Now, with, the sun moving in through and it's going to be going into the fifth house, a lot of it, it has to be a playful. It has to be a good, because we're going to have Mercury in here, and Mercury is going to be going retrograde. Retrograde means going back, redoing what needs to be done, what contracts need to be signed. Where at the beginning of the month it might be all fun and games, but it might become more challenging towards the end of September. It's going to be going back into, and there again with Venus moving in, there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance of work and also pleasure. And where is that balance? I was a part of the People's Convoy. I was a part of the 1776 Restoration Movement, and I've been following since the beginning of Canada. Now I see a lot of parallel of what has gone on into my life experiences, so I could offer a lot of. But what I saw wasn't a lot of welcoming people who could actually lend some personal experience or wisdom or knowledge. You can share your wisdom, but you can't make people want your knowledge. So that's a big, big, big part of what's going on. Okay, let me just looking at that chat, Retta. All right, so as we're talking about in September, finding a balance. It can't be all about fun and games, okay? There's a lot of things that and possibilities that can be created in September, but there has to be a balance. It can't be the hard nose to the grindstone without the recharge for the people, because it's a lot of energy, but we're going to have to, and it should be, what are we focusing on? So regrouping and refocusing would be beneficial. And towards the end of September, you have, let's see, you have the new moon right here, and that's at the end of the month. So there's going to be some new beginnings that's going on towards the end of the month. And it might take a while in order to have that, but where there's a will, there is a way. Now, let me see, Santa's Neptune is in Scorpio, and it's in the 6th house. Work, health, service, daily routine, illusions, delusions. Neptune's usually, but there again, he has some ulterior motives in behind there that he is not always willing to share. And we've seen that throughout the convoys of those who are in rule of, are not always willing to share. The majority of the time, sorry, not always, majority of the time, not willing to share with their ideas for work and things like that. And it has been at a detriment to the people's health, not just the people's, but the animals that have been, the children that have been, the elders. I can't imagine how many people were lost and left behind on the convoy. So let's continue on. Other people's money. Pluto was in there changing other people's money, the change, the transformation, but it's also inheritance taxes. So Santa being in here, his moon, does that mean that he's not really going to be real happy with other people's money coming in? Capricorn's a grounded, and with Pluto in there, change, transformation. Yeah, he might not always like exactly what it is. He likes to control a lot of things. So, emotionally, yeah, he's probably gonna have some challenges with other people's and dealing with. Hey, Flower Child, good to see ya. Yes, are you going anytime soon? Shuts down and people go home. I haven't figured that one. I mean, it's been a thought, but do I want to waste gas and going down? I do have some flyers to give back that I had when I left and had planned on going back. And then with everything going on, I did not feel um, the need to pass them out. So, is it worth me going down and giving them back? I don't know, maybe 25 flyers. I don't know. Is it worth me going down and, who would even welcome me back? With me speaking my mind, my First Amendment, my honest interactions and what I have experienced. I don't know, would they be there with, a gun? I know because I got video of Santa talking about everybody putting their arms, in a safe, secure place before they went downtown. So I do know that there is, more than sticks and stones in camp. And I mean, if they're going to call me a traitor for revealing the truth, well, I don't know. Um, I don't know. I don't always agree with how some of the others have proceeded, but then I can see why it proceeded that way. Yeah, that's what I thought, Flower Child. But see, the thing is, I would pass them on my way back to North Carolina, and I want to get back to North Carolina and do that lawsuit. That was the reason why I went on the convoy to begin with, was to find an attorney to, well, I mean, we the people need it. I do have a gift of a foresight, and I don't always understand, but that hinges on insanity only when you're not true to yourself. So I do have a habit of listening, and I only kick my butt when I don't. So, career. You see what's going on in the career house of 1776? Okay, remember Brown is the movements, and with the emotions, the emotional aspect of it, and the Mars and the Neptune, is the career house always going the way that it's meant to? And remember, even though there's illusions and delusions, it's in Pisces, so that flip-flopping of energies. And with Santa right in there, Santa Saturn is in Pisces, and also, Chiron, the wounded healer. So, Santa's got to learn some lessons. There's some lessons in there for Santa to learn. And it's, the movement is it's an emotional, spiritual, work. With Pisces, with Neptune, it could be a high spiritual plane, but you know, is it, his part in there is at healing the mistakes that he made in the past. Hold on, I gotta get a drink. Oh, and a nice breath of fresh air. Ah, in and out, in and out. That's always a good thing. They're definitely not about the Constitution. They will delete you for speaking on anything they don't agree with. Amen. Amen. They are talking about buying a piece of land. Sounds true cult to me personally. Well, Flower Child, yeah, it's getting more and more interesting as it goes. But I would agree with that in buying, because then they do have a little bit, or they would be a little bit more secure. Um, and I'm gonna hold my tongue any more than that. Looking in here, yeah, there is going to be some, some changes in the home and in the career. And emotionally, what's not working, there's a full moon in September in the career house of 1776. So what's not working in the career, it needs to be ended. Now, whether that be, and there again, Neptune's in there, and Neptune's retrograde, there's a whole bunch of planetary that's going retrograde, and that's redoing and reviewing and revising in September. So, you know, you go with the flow. You look at the river, you look at the breeze, the trees, and when there's a wind, or you go with the flow or you break. And that's the choice of that Santa is going to have to make, because, the wounded healer, and Saturn learning his lessons. And, has he learned his lessons? And, how much of himself is he putting into, instead of focusing on we the people? All those vehicles that have we the people on the side of them, it's, that they should have underneath we the people and Christian whatever. If he's going to be Bible thumping, then, and that's probably part of the decision that he's going to make. If he's going to be, Bible thumping and forcing everyone to conform, well, yeah, there's not going to be a whole lot of going to be coming in to join, and it would be more of a cult like, and not a we the people movement. It took a new lens that I wasn't following before DOA, nor yes, yes. And there again, if they did not come, when the squirrel went in, and she went in there to ask Santa some questions, and yes, he was answering until Crystal came over and blared the horn and deliberately put an end to any of the questioning. And it was at that point that Santa allowed someone else to take control and not say, hey, it's my way or no way, and used her as an excuse to get out of answering valid questions, that there were quite a few people who had them. And I being one, I had questions that Squirrel had asked me prior to going in, and I had given her a few questions, and, he didn't answer hers, let alone get to mine. Still talking about violence by his people, putting them up to double D and mean deeds. Right, and I seen there, taking this into other states with being the leader of all. Yeah, 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 yeah. If it were a We the People movement, I would be behind it. I would be right in there. But as I have said, the way that the Bible thumping, holier than thou, damn you if you don't take my God, that is a definition of a religious cult. So, like it or not, it is what it is, and it needs to be seen as other people are seeing it. So, I mean, Santa's got to get an open mind and he's got to see because, like I said, what's not working, he's not going to be real happy about it because that full moon, 17 degrees, and you have his Saturn is 13 degrees. Oh, and look at this. His Chiron is exactly on the full moon. Ooh, 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 ooh. Interesting. Very interesting on that fact. So we're going to have to pay attention to what's going on the 10th of September because there's going to be a big time transformation on the 10th of September. So let's hang on and see what that's going to be all about. Ooh, I should get my ephemeris and look because what do we got? 19 in there. So, yeah, there's gonna definitely be some shaking up that's going down in 1776, somewhere in around the 10th. That's a for sure, for sure. Okay, what do we got? Hopes and wishes, friends and associates, in Aries, new beginnings. We see Jupiter in there. Jupiter's been in there. And also, Chiron is moving in there or has been in there. So it's like, where's the healing? Where's the healing that should be done? Where's the helping for other people? How it's been, where those of us who were at the People's Convoy that started in California, Hagerstown, Maryland, compound in Hagerstown, Maryland. That was a very cool, united um, assembly of people who were proud to be an American, who really wanted to see a change to end the mandate of being a forced vaccinated, forced masked United States. I mean, we see, can't go into sugar. I'm gonna have to find another platform and take it from there because I can't get into it. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Jupiter multiplying money, but it's in reverse. It's in retrograde. It's redoing, going back over. The numbers diminishing, the quick short term, what's going on, the helping of people coming in, um, and really there should be quite a few people coming in and helping. This movement should be helping people with their problems, helping solve their problems. If there were communities that were set up similar to Hagerstown, that is a solution or one of the solutions that will be needed in the coming days, in the coming years. There are definitely earth changes that we're seeing around us, and you ain't seen nothing yet. This is something that I have been talking about for quite a few years. And if you go back in my YouTube videos and under GLoLady and put in Earth Changes, you'll see where one of my TV shows, I talked about Earth Changes. I mean, it wasn't just one, but there are quite a few that I had given my prophetic words on my TV show that we see playing out. Um, I mean, same with my inventions. I see other people making billions on my inventions, and I'm like, dang, this is my latest one, and then I have another one in the works, and it's like, it takes money to make money, but we do not fail until we quit trying. So I guess I should get my focus back on here instead of allowing the trains to go on to other stations or head out on a different route once they come into the station. But I'm a Pisces, and Pisces flip-flop. Remember the career, the flip-flop? Which way are we going? The illusions, the delusions, but it's in retrograde, so now we're seeing things way more clearly. So what we need to get rid of, we got to get rid of around the full moon. There's something going down around the full moon, September. So be aware of what do you need, what are you needing to look at more clearly. Now, I will be doing astrological readings for every sign. I'm not sure how many I'm going to get done, but I will start at the beginning of the constellations with Aries, going live with every one, ending with Pisces. So keep an eye out for those, or just, just watch them. I mean, they're still going to be good. Hindsight is foresight if you go back over some of my other predictions for different years and times. Go ahead, check me on it. See what's going on in your life. What's going on in your life. Hey y'all, how is you? How is you? Sorry if I can't catch up with everybody and all your questions right now. I will go back over and look and see if I made any mistakes in the reading of, or if I see anything else going on. And I can always do, write down notes and do a little follow up of what I missed. So yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of shakeups that's going down in 1776, Restoration Movement in September. And one of the how I can see that is where it's going and what direction and what part Santa is going to play in there. If 1776 were to use their platform to make a change for the betterment of humanity and not just ruled in a dictatorship fashion of one person's, this is what we're going to do, no democracy, just authoritarian rule. Well, the 12th house is jails, institutions, secret enemies. Yeah. So, secrets. And the Restoration Movement and the Brown, we have the North Node where it should be going. We have Uranus, unexpected, unusual, inspirational. It's in Taurus. It could be a beautiful movement that inspires people to, whether they're fixing the jails and institutions, Hold on while I grab a drink. Gotta keep my throat moist, otherwise it gets dry and scratchy. Oh, and then I want to cough. So, all right, gotta make sure. Yeah, you guys are still live. That's one thing when I've gone live before, my videos had stopped prior to me getting everything out of there, or everything I wanted to say. So, gonna be trouble blending PB with Freedom Outlawed. It depends on if there is others involved unknown at this rim. Retta, can't quite understand what you was saying on that one. Known at this time, or do you mean time? Time. Okay. Who do you mean PB? Pretty. Oh, Proud Boys. I don't know. I mean, I putting my hands up and not naming names specifically, other than, like I said, with Santa and the restoration movement, because he's the one who's controlling this ship. I can tell you about planetarily, and I can tell you a lot, what's gonna go on. And there's some hidden enemies in there. And Santa, with the Jupiter multiplying, and Venus and the sun, Santa's, big time planets in there. Well, yeah, I've said it a few times about, I'm just wondering how many are going to be going to jail by the end of it. Always thought Freedom Outlaws in charge and David Fall Guy, because they thought David could get any TCP or People's Convoy funds left over. Having a bit of a problem with prison too, where it wouldn't let me be live past a certain amount of time. Live it did a few times and then stopped. Super weird at prison. Not surprising. I mean, it's not surprising. Planetarily, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. You got a lot of retrogrades that are going on. Mercury, electrical, mechanical, communication breakdowns are more prevalent during a Mercury retrograde, and Mercury is going to be going retrograde on the 9th of September, but we're entering that shadow phase now. So there's a lot of things now, I mean, and look at what's getting shaken up right now on the home front of, the 76ers. There's a lot of new stuff that's getting shaken up, and it's just a question of, there again, looking at and being where Santa's part is in this, and what planetary's coming up on there. Well, sorry, I had to get another drink. I know I should probably eat one of my whorehounds, but then I would probably have it clicking off my teeth, and that would sound like crap too. And I did get new headphones with a new speaker, or a new mic on there, so hopefully you guys can hear what I'm talking about. Takeover started banning when either numerous people, myself included, that viewed the U.S. freedom movement as being corrupt and screwed before a single wheel ever turned. Yeah. I will agree to that. There are a lot of people who have high ideals, and we don't or didn't realize the number of people who are out there who have a love of money. And it's the love of money that's the root of all evil. I grew up in Hershey, Pennsylvania, the town that Hershey built, and I know what one person can do for their community with money that is made. What kind of a benefactor they can be with the money in their businesses. And I know for a fact that service is good for the soul. And when you're hardworking and you share your profits, your rewards with others, that's a feeling that really money can't buy, even though you're, putting your money where your heart is. Um, yeah, I would much rather do that than as Hershey was building his town, Biltmore was also building his castle in Asheville, North Carolina. So if you go and look at, the town of Hershey and what Hershey did for his community, and then you go and you look at Biltmore and what he built for his family and ancestors of, and the peasants in the surrounding community. And that's kind of like what's going on, what's going on now. And let me see. Most definitely, the misfit toys have been under control and showing another side that the world needed to see. And all the TPC now releasing their truth. Freedom Outlaw is Big D, Marcus, LLC started in June. They say MC is not involved. Lie or not. Flower Child. There were some times where it's better to keep your mouth shut if you know not what you say. I can say things like I believe, but I do not have any inside knowledge. I have seen that, yes, an LLC was started. And yeah, I mean, I guess I could always do a chart on that kind of good stuff too. But that's some icky that I don't know if I really want to get into. Just curious, have you done one of these? For America seems by watching others. Some other is everything is that gearing up for war and the takedown of America. It's been looked up and I saw a copy of it. Yeah, yeah. Flower Child. I saw a copy of the LLC also. But it's I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because I have found that when you give people enough of rope, they hang themselves. So I don't need to, I can say I wish them well, and I can let it at that. I can, that's energy work, wishing them well, because it is what it is, and I'm not a part of it. I can only say what I have observed, and what I observed isn't more than my opinion. And I, yeah, I mean, it was not a, it was on a middle ground. I'll put it at that, in knowing the Freedom Outlaws. I was never in. I never, I saw them going past me. I know that they were like separate from. They had their own little entity, their own little convoy that pretty much did whatever it wanted. I don't know who's all in there with the players. That's one of those I know nothing. And sometimes that keeps you alive. So I'll let it at that. And Wendy, hello Wendy. Yep, some things are better left private off of her security of a person's. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, I could make assumptions. I could give you my opinion, but I've never looked up facts, although, I did see the LLC and all that kind of good stuff, but I never looked into anything past that. All I know is what I saw during the convoy, and, that's pretty much it. I never partied with any of the, um, well, really didn't party with anybody, so I really can't say, one way or another. I pretty much, for the most part, kept to myself, although I did observe things that are going on. And, yep, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil is, yeah. I mean, like I said, I can say my assumptions and give my opinion. Like they're, the reason for a lot of the people following what's going on now is because Santa denied those questions to be answered, which brought in a lot of attacks from the other side as to, hey, what is going on? Why did you lie? I mean, that's a big part of what the problem was with myself and a lot of people. If you're going to be calling yourself a godly man, well, then why are you expecting other people to cover for you and to lie for you? I don't think that that is a good thing. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I have some PTSD caused by my ex-father-in-law who damned me because I wouldn't take his God. And I know the torment that I went through after the fact. Know that dark valley of death that I went through after that fact. So, to damn me if I don't take your God, I wish you well. Right back at you, honey. You can have all that negative violence, whatever, right back at you. I'm working with energy. And energy says, nope, I ain't gonna put up with the crap, and I'm gonna take care of me, and I'm gonna start doing my astrology again, and giving everybody a heads up as to what's going on in the planetary aspects, and are you catching everything? Because, yeah, there's a lot of government stuff that's going to be going on also. Pluto's in there. Pluto's the retrograde, so a lot of government stuff going to be going on. So David better, make sure to mind his P's and Q's. He's going to have to be walking a very, very, very thin line. Otherwise, yeah, he's doing some time, and he'll probably be in there until March, because we've got Mars that's gonna be heading over here, and staying. Mars, that's anger, aggression, energy in Gemini until March. So, yeah, what's gonna be his focus that he needs to um pay attention? Let's see. Santa. Oh. So he's a Taurus. That's right. His son's a Taurus, and it's right there in the 12th house. And his association in the 12th house. Yeah, I mean, well, there again, I mean, he already said about doing 6 months, so I'll probably confirm that action. And yeah, who's going to take the reins um, if, when Santa does do? Scene where Mike called Santa a treasonous traitor. Something happened in Cali that hasn't been revealed. Oh man, I'm telling ya. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna be telling ya my convoy through hell. Working on that, but I got to keep a cash flow. So even though I would like to work on that, that's time and money, and that's a lot of time. So I'm going to be working on doing my astrological charts to raise money so that I can do that First Amendment, find an attorney hopefully, and get that going. And yeah, I got to get some cash flow because if I can't count on the support of the people for getting this, and I know that there was a lot of stuff that went on in California. I was kicked off in Sacramento with a dying dog and no money and no destination. It was horrible. It was no respect for the people. All it was about numbers and you know, and then how do people find you? Well, Big D's gonna be doing some time too. Him and Santa. I can't see them getting out of. But they might. I don't see Santa. Big D might. I don't know. Um, you know, yeah, yeah. I had respect for him until he proved otherwise. So I do like people and give them the benefit of the doubt until they give me reason otherwise. So, butterflies are free. I got a smart ass phone, so I know exactly what you're talking about with the typos. You think you're saying something, and the next thing you know, your smart ass phone says another. Do you know that Rice Track in Sac was site next to a closed nuclear power plant? Yeah, it was a very interesting and what was going on there. That's interesting also that you're saying that, Wendy, because that's where my dog had gotten ill. Was there, and then I don't know if you noticed all of the private jets that were flying in and out of that airport. I was, in quite amazement as to how many, and I tried to get as many videos of as possible of those that were going in and out. And it was really interesting watching them watch us. So, yeah, you have to keep an eye on the sky. You have to keep an eye on the water. There's a lot of things that are going down, and it's being aware. What did Santa do? What do you mean? Are you talking about in California? I could not tell you the fact of that matter. You would have to speak with Mike Landis. And really, I don't have a very high opinion of any of the organizers with TPC, except for, I could say, maybe Brian. And that's because I think that he was starstruck and pretty well ignorant of the fact that they were using him as a front man because all he wanted to do was be the front man and not be responsible for anything other than being a front man. So I'm gonna let it at that. Yep, we used to haul logs there in a past lifetime. Are you talking about in Sacramento? I follow Monkey Wrench for air and water information. But it was all about, yeah, it was definitely all about the money, and I'm still seeing it now. And who was the one couple that most promoted David as a good guy? And yes, if you look at one of my other ones, I also gave a clue as in the similarity between Brad and Angie. So, for those of you who like riddles and games, tell me. Wendy, you'll probably know exactly what I'm talking about. What did he do to lose your respect? Damn me if I didn't take his god. Yeah, the nuclear. What was the one? Yeah. When your opinion is mom, Paul, okay. I think there's more behind. I think there's more behind. In fact, I know that there's more behind, but I don't know exactly what. Butterflies, I'm talking to you on that one. There's something I don't know, but that will be revealed. I'm sure of that. I had to look at who was from the beginning and who is still there, and there is a limited number of. So, as I said, Brad and Angie, what's the connection? Yeah, that nuclear power, there was definitely some energy in around in there. And I was very much on alert. I don't know whether that could have been part of a vortex, but there is definitely a vortex, a sinking ship, a sinking feeling in that location. And I would not want to live in Sacramento, for sure. Everything is revealed in the end. That's it. That's it. I mean, I can show you guys what my foresight is. Hindsight is foresight, and it's better forewarned, and forearmed than to be caught in the crossfire when you can say when the sinking ship goes down. And there is definitely going to be definitely, and it's just coming through as a new captain of, and I don't know how that can be done. I can't see Santa walking away and giving someone else the reins of when he has already taken control of, and everything is in under his name. I have a hard time seeing that. Who's going to come in and transfer, the ownership of one to get into another. I worked as a psychic medium in Casadega, Florida. I invented glow-in-the-dark clothes, glow-in-the-dark safety products. I'm a little bit ahead of my time. So, I don't know, do you want to call me a clairvoyant? I prefer to call myself a mystic intuitive. I have prophesized, and I do have quite a few of my prophecies on the books, as well as taking paranormal photographs. I have a photo of my first contact with it. I have photos of entities attached to my oldest son who has been deceased. Yeah, I read energy of people. So I've paid really good attention to that. And like I said, only when I don't listen to my God under thee am I ever disappointed. And I try to do it as much as I can and not question that still small voice, because it's when I question that it really, really sucks. So let me see what kind of time we got going on here. We have I have about an hour in. So I think that that's a good start, a good synopsis of what's going to be going on in September for the 1776 Restoration Movement and the control of Santa, of David Riddell. And I guess I should, start putting David Riddell in there instead of Santa, because that's whose birth chart I'm using is David Riddell's and not Santa's birth chart. I mean, there again, we could always see when he was, or find out when they started calling him Santa, and, could always see it that way. But it's interesting how it goes, because it would probably, same message. Um, it was interesting. So, yeah, September's going to be very interesting for 1776. And let's see what plays out. And do I need to make a chart in October? Probably not. So keep an eye out. Like I said, I'm going to be doing some monthlies coming up. September monthlies for Aries, and then I'm going to be going down the line and going live, and what's going on planetarily in September for all of the signs. So I was thinking about doing a member only video in Patreon, and using tarot. I don't know how many of you are into tarot and throwing some cards and seeing what they have to say on the fact of the matter. So, let me know. Let me know if you'd like to see what the cards say, what's in the cards. I mean, if they're gonna damn me, they're gonna damn me, and I just wish them well. But I'd rather have a little bit of foresight than yeah. So, G started the Santa thing and banning. I was wondering if that's when it was. Okay. Thank you, Wendy. Thanks, guys. I hope that you enjoyed what I'm doing. And don't forget to, put that usual like, share, subscribe, pass on for supporting. And I look forward to seeing y'all soon. So, see ya, love ya, bye. 1, 2, 3, 4.